Beep. A prelude to the music that might have played afterwards. But we ain't got time for that. We are moving on to the game. Return of the Phantom! Trademark. Nice, you destroyed your own title. Good going there. Now it's just Return the Phantom. Okay, let's go and return Phantom to somewhere. Fancy. Ooh, it's got eyes. Creepy. Start, resume, restore, intro, exit credits. Intro? Taking advantage of extra memory. Okay. I wonder if the intro even works. Seems to work. Ah, MIPS Labs. I've played MPS Labs games before. Just can't remember what the... Yeah, it's Microprose Design Group, yeah. Pretty much MPS Labs is just Microprose. Just can't remember what other games on the DOS I have played. Microprose, I have played many games on the Commodore 64 and Amiga. Graphic Adventure Group. GAG. The Microprose Graphic Adventure Group. To be exact. Une Microprose Graphic Adventure Group réalisation. Is this in French? I thought this was going to be in English. I mean, it was, the start was in English. It is based in Paris. Yeah, the Paris Opera House. Present day. Present day of 1993? I think that's when this game came out. 1993. And the Phantom of the Opera was like 100 years before. So this is not the real Phantom of the Opera, it is just a Phantom of the Opera. Tonight, Christine Florent in a 1881 score of Don Juan Triumphant by Eric, the Phantom of the Opera. It's a little known game, but pretty damn good. I don't know anything about it. I have never even heard of it. Never heard it before until you suggested it. The Catacombs, deep below the theater. I like the animation. Very fluent. Was this rotoscoped? It's gotta be rotoscoped. Otherwise it wouldn't be so accurate of an animation. Unless we have FMV in this? Music is going all over the place. Graphics was better than you remembered, and hi, Eldridge. Hello. I should say that the graphics are better than I expected from a 1993 game. Well, pretty much at the time they made Gabriel Knight. Tonight is the world premiere of the legendary 1881 score Don Juan Triumphant. So they made like this era was like Gabriel Knight, The Monkey Islands. What else? The piece supposedly written by Eric, the madman once known as the Phantom of the Opera. Trying to think other games, but they had the same graphic style. The Lost cases of Sherlock Holmes, like the serrated scalpel and such, they had the same type of graphic style. As the opera begins, no one considers the possibility that the composer himself might also attend the performance. Yeah, nobody considers that possibility because that was scored 110 years ago. After all, his skeleton was then found deep below the theater, in the catacombs, over 100 years ago. That's what I said. Hey, Turkin. Or was it? Dun dun dun! And they're gonna kill people with the chandelier? I think he does that in the movie. In the original story, he actually drops down the chandelier onto in the opera house onto people. It would be funny if they started singing and it would be in the style of goblins. Yes, I see this was released in 1993. Sadly not for Amiga though. You just googled it and goodbye then. Yeah. Bye, Turkin. That's what she's singing. And here comes the chandelier. Boo! Repetition. This is not the. This is just like the original. No imagination. I'll give them voices because there aren't any voices, so. Return of the Phantom! Trademark. Well, apparently he's back. Somehow, so. There we go. It would probably have required 50 discs. That is probably the reason, yeah. Yeah. But I'm sure the Amiga 2000 or something would have handled this game easily. Version 2.0. Please take out your Eric the Phantom of the Opera booklet, then turn to page 6. On line 15, please find word number 8 and type it on the line below. We've given you the first letter as a hint. The word was H. Or not. Of course, I get a version that I cannot skip the copy protection in. To the internet! We turn off of the Phantom manual. Good thing they have these old game sites that have them. I'm sure of them. Turn on the... Okay, so... Page 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. On line 5. This is not the right one, I'm sure of it. Problem was they never really forced games that required people to have a hard drive for Amiga. Even though you would say certain games is almost unplayable without HD, still could be played with a regular floppy drive though. And you started. Let me see. Return of the... What other documents do they have here? Manual, walkthrough. Those are just magazines. Years is the word they want. Okay, so you found it. Good. Because I'm being slow today. So years. Select a difficulty level. Novice or challenging. Is there gonna be action sequences in this? Like you have to do some fighting or some other types of stuff? Is Goblin still here? Because he probably knows, he seems to know the game. I just want to know that. Like if there is going to be some action, I just want to know, is it too difficult if I take it challenging? Or is the difficulty level for the puzzles, just like with Monkey Islands? Is Goblin still here, or is he playing with his niece? Probably playing with his niece. What do you guys think? Should we go with easy or hard? Because I know nothing about this game. Nothing at all. I don't even know if there are some kind of action sequences. I mean, I thought this was just a normal adventure game, but apparently with the difficulty level, I don't think it's just a normal puzzle adventure game. He's the one who suggested this game, Terrigan. So I got to know. I'll wait for 1 minute. If he's not here in 1 minute, we're just gonna go with novice. If he suggested it, then one should expect him to be here. Well, he did say that he had to go on the Twitch app because he got a sudden visit from his niece, the 3-month-old baby. So, real life has captured him away from us. So probably not even listening or watching. Anybody else know this game at all? Probably not. If you remember correctly, it's like in Monkey Island, more puzzles or more complicated solutions. Then we're gonna take that. I prefer adventure games to have more puzzles or complicated solutions. Because I like that. So, as long as it doesn't go into the levels of goblins, which they were just nonsensical and stupid puzzles, while these would be more of a real puzzles with real head-twisting stuff going on. Lone Player says the only thing it does makes the labyrinth section an irritating experience. Yeah, you don't have letters under those buttons with that gas trap. That's it. That's it. If it only affects a maze and some buttons, then we're gonna take novice. Because I don't want to spend 5 hours in a maze. And we know Gabriel hates mazes. Oh, Monsieur Monton, there you are. Step down here, please. I wish to speak with you. I really do like the animation. Hey, Grummel. Walk to seats. The seats look quite comfortable. They're covered in a plush red material that resembles velvet. Well, it should be velvet. It's the Paris Opera House. Walk down aisle. You can hear me, but you don't have a bottle in your hand right now. Can't type. Making games with puzzles that has no logic onto them is trolling from devs with strange minds. As manager of the Opera, I just want to thank you, monsieur. We were so fortunate that you were attending the premiere tonight. Without your assistance in caring for the victims and dealing with the ensuing chaos, the situation would have been much worse. I thank you for all you have done, Raoul. It is not every detective with sûreté who is also patron of the Opera. I do hope you will continue to investigate this horrible tragedy. I am afraid we are only just begun. Let us discuss how to proceed. Yes, I'm listening, Monsieur Brie. Yes, I'm listening, Monsieur Brie. This tragedy disturbs me a great deal. I can understand how upset you are about this. Upset? For heaven's sake, there's a madman loose. He might strike again at any moment. Tell me everything you know about this. There are a lot of lunatics in Paris. I firmly believe that this is a copycat crime. What do you mean by copycat crime? Why, do you not see? This is precisely the same crime committed by the Phantom of the Opera in 1881. Someone is trying to make us think that the Phantom has returned. Tell me more about the Phantom. His name was Eric. He lived below the opera while the thing was being built. He caused a lot of havoc because he was in love with the ingenue named Christine Daae. Some of his things were found on the turn of the century, so he must have died sometime between 1881 and 1900. Christine Daae. Any relation to the Night Star? You mean Christine Florent? No, I do not think so. What things were found? His mask, the original scores to his opera Don Juan Triomphant, and a wedding ring, supposedly the one he originally gave to Christine Daae. She returned to him before she disappeared with her lover, the Vicomte de Chagny. His name was Raoul too, by the way. Where are these artifacts now? We have kept them on display on the Opera Library for years. Please feel free to go see them. There are also some other documents in the library which will give you some information on the Phantom. How were these artifacts found? Some excavation was performed in the catacombs around the turn of the century. The ruins of a strange abode were found. A skeleton was discovered within, along with the artifacts. It is believed that this was the body of Eric, but nobody has ever really proven it. Are you sure you have no suspects at the opera? I trust my staff implicitly. Our stage manager has confirmed that all employees were at their positions when the crime occurred. I have sent everyone home. I suppose you could return to the theater tomorrow should you wish to question anyone who was not here now. Whom do you suggest I speak with? Find Charles, the stage manager. He should be able to help you. Where can I find Charles? You should be able to find him in his stage left wing at his post. How do I get around the theater? Go east into the orchestra pit and then into the trap room. That should lead you backstage. Charles can direct you from there. What do you want me to do then, monsieur? I would like you to explore the theater. Talk to people you see. Find out where this madman is hiding. Good lord, man. There were people murdered tonight. And I don't think this lunatic is going to stop there. Please, I ask you, Raoul, as a friend. See what you can find out. I shall be in my office shortly. Come find me and give me a report on your progress. Then I'll give you further instruction. Good luck. Until later, Monsieur Brie. I shall see you soon, Raoul. Man, you are slow. What is this, dark seed? Hey there, Sonic. The crumpled orange chandelier looks like a dead animal lying on top of the seats. You're amazed that even more people were not hurt in the mishap. I wonder how many people were hurt. Judging from the size of things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4. At least 24 people might have gotten killed there. Damn. Now, Monkey Island was just for fun, Sonic. It was just for fun, so now I'm playing this game. The long player says that the walking speed is awful. So it is like Dark Seed then. Dark Seed also has really slow walking speed. Doesn't bother me that much. So we're at the orchestra pit. The floor of the orchestra pit is called naturally the pit. It is made of wood. You know that it is fairly scruffy, having been trampled upon by many orchestras throughout the years. Well, it can also be called a ditch. These chairs are used by the orchestra members. It seems to you that they might be a bit hard on the somebody subscribed on YouTube. Might be a bit hard on the posterior during a long opera. Slow walking speed is a nice strat to make the game last longer. Not really a good strat, but it sure does make it. Am I going to finish Monkey Island? I don't know. I mean, I played Monkey Island so many times. Only if people want to see me finish it, I'll finish it next Sunday. The conductor stands on this platform during the performance. As a child, you used to stand on boxes and pretend to conduct orchestras. You sigh at the memory. Then we all used to do that when we listened to some music. We would just go pretending to be a conductor, especially if the music was really good. Only works with classical music, though. I used to do it because we listened to a lot of classical music in my home. The apron is the area of the stage downstage of the proscenium arch. At the moment, the opera house has a shallow apron, but this can be adjusted at the whim of a director or a designer. This door serves to the entrance and exit for orchestra members. It leads to the trap room. The side of the theater is covered in exquisite wallpaper. It looks very expensive. The seats miraculously remained intact after bearing the weight of the fallen chandelier. It was once a beautiful piece of art, all crystal and glass. You're thankful you were not sitting in the orchestra section of the seats at the time. ... The aisle runs up to the back of the house and lobby. As a patron of the opera, you know that in one is the first slot upstage of the proscenium arch from which entrances can be made by actors. A leg, or tormentor, is a vertical side curtain used for masking. You have seen them in various shades. You may actually put, throw, close, open, push, pull, give, take, talk. Okay, so we don't have use. Interesting that there is a put. Somebody needs to oil those hinges. Jeez. This stereo unit can be rolled between two positions, one beneath the prompter's box and another beneath the trapdoor. The prompter climbs this contraption to utilize the prompter's box. The unit looks amazingly old and rickety, but it's probably safe enough. The prompter pokes his head through the opening in order to cue the actors. He must stand on the prompter's stand to do so. Trapdoors in stages are usually used for special effects. An actor can enter or exit the stage from the trap by using the prompter's stand. For certain effects, huge mattresses are placed beneath the trapdoors so actors can fall through. It's not just fall through, they do fall through. You don't need to put to the fall. The walls are nondescript and non-reflective so that light will not shine through the trapdoor when it is open. This is a pile of old boxes and props that were never properly discarded. Unfortunately, every theater in the world has junk like this. Yes, it is a bit of refuse inside some stagehands we called lunch wrappings. Can we do anything with the boxes? A carton. This is an old empty carton which once held some lighting cable. How do you know it held some lighting cable when you don't know when it's empty? How do you know? Do you know that the floor is dusty and scruffy? I'm glad that we can actually look at the floor. We can look at anything. This exit leads to the stairwell beneath this backstage area. In all theaters, one will naturally find worn areas such as this. This is an old discarded set piece. You know that is a part of what scenic designers call a unit set. You attempt to open the carton, but quickly deduce that this action would be a waste of your valuable time and energy. Fine. Let's open the door then. The door is locked. The lever looks like if it performs a mechanical function. Whoops. Ah. It's for the trapdoor. Might be useful in the future. So where was I supposed to find this Charles person? You quickly realize that pushing the door will not accomplish anything concrete. How about something asphalt then? This leads to the orchestra pit. It's still locked. Do I need to go up here? The ceiling is actually the bottom of the stage floor above. This animation is freaking fantastic. Really detailed. Well, I wasn't expecting to see the Phantom already. Huh. Nothing to say there about that and what just happened? No deduction? Can we push the bumper stand to get it over this? Why does it sound like a freaking alarm bell? I love old school sound effects on DOS. Deduction. The Phantom needs to visit the chiropractor. Yeah. But he was doing the creep, you know. Do the creep. Hopefully he doesn't kill me right away. Also, where can I save? How can I save? Music is on, sound is on, speech is on. No, it's not. Interface is standard, room fade is medium, panning is medium. A review said you cannot die in the game. Well, that's good. No deaths, so this is not like a Sierra game. Got it. But how do I save the game? That I would like to know. It's a much further distance to the pit floor than it looks. It might not be a good idea to jump. As they say, in the theater, you might break a leg. Well, break a leg is a good thing to say in the theater. It's supposed to give you good luck on the show, that's what they say. A kick in the butt and then you say break a leg. I have performed in the theater. I do know this stuff. It was once a beautiful piece of land. Yep. Same thing. The house is dark, empty, and quiet. The acoustics are magnificent. You can hear the echo of your every step reverberating off the back wall. It's sort of spooky in a way. The fallen chandelier lies crumpled atop the seats like a limp washcloth. So there's nothing for me to do here, huh? Couldn't walk, didn't say go there or go there, so... Unless it moves. You know, the screen. Yep. This leads to the stage right wing. I was supposed to go to the left wing. Love that the footsteps sound like drums. Is the game too quiet, by the way? The game audio? Because I noticed it's pretty quiet on the OBS, so I better turn it up. You know that the Inn 1 is the first slot up stage from the proscenium arch, from which actors can enter the stage. By walking around behind the cyclorama, you can enter the backstage area. Flats are canvas-covered frames used to build scenery. These particular flats are probably about to be added to the current setting. The proscenium arch is the opening in the wall that separates the audience from the stage. It is the frame that surrounds the stage picture. This gentleman looks like to be in his late 20s. He appears to be very busy. It is an ordinary headset which the stage manager or stagehand uses to communicate with other members of the stage crew during a performance. The stage manager sits at this console during a performance. It is a state-of-the-art system with communication facilities to the light booth and house manager along with other miscellaneous controls. Well, let's talk to the man. As we were supposed to. Yes, what is it? Are you Charles? Yes, I am Charles. Please tell me a little about the Opera House. The Opera House was designed by Charles Garnier and first commissioned during the reign of Emperor Napoleon III. Construction began in 1854 and with demolition of the already existing buildings on the site. It wasn't until 1861 that the first foundation stone was laid. The opera did not officially open until 1875. Go on, please. This history is fascinating. Work was halted in 1870 with the onset of the Franco-Prussian War. Napoleon III was exiled and the Commune of Paris took control of the city. The opera was taken over by the communards as an arsenal and warehouse and military prison. A prison? Many prisoners were incarcerated and tortured deep in the catacombs below the opera. By 1872, the communards were defeated and the new government was installed. 3 years later, the opera house was completed and staged its first performance. Very interesting. How big is this building? It covers nearly 3 acres. It is 17 stories high, 7 of which are below street level. The stage itself is 175 feet wide and 85 feet deep. Electric lighting replaced the auditorium gasoliers in 1881. It is a magnificent building. Tell me more about the catacombs. The water level on the side was bad. There is a lake deep beneath the stage area. It's now basically a sewer. Ever since the Commune was in control and the area was used as a prison, there seems to be a perpetual chill that no amount of modern electric lighting is able to dispel. Some folks believe the area down there to be haunted. How do I get down there? You can't. It was sealed off long ago. If there is a way down there, then it's through some secret passage we don't know about. Please tell me about your job here at the theater. I am the stage manager. Since you obviously do not know what that is, I shall tell you. Quite literally, the stage manager runs the show once rehearsals have ended and the show opens. A show belongs to the director only until opening night, at which time I am in charge. Please continue describing your job. From my command station here, I stay in constant communication with virtually everyone in the theater. I make sure that the show runs smoothly and without a hitch. I follow the script as it goes and call all the sound and lighting cues. And though it's not my official job description, I handle certain personal problems when they arise. What sort of personnel problems? I make sure everyone is here on time, for one thing. I take care of personality clashes between stars. I make sure everyone is happy. By the way, I am Detective Raoul Montant with the Sûreté. What of it? Can you tell me anything about tonight's mishap? Everyone was in position. There was no one in the flyloft or catwalks. All the lighting is controlled from the booth. I cannot imagine how it could have happened. How was the chandelier attached? There is an alcove in the ceiling through which the chandelier's electrical wires and harness are rigged. You must go to the flyloft and then traverse the catwalks above the ceiling to get there. The chandelier is periodically pulled up into the alcove for maintenance. Do you have any suspects regarding tonight's mishap? Well, I don't, but some of the ballet girls certainly do. What do you mean? The ballet girls know something? They believe it's the opera ghost, you see. One ballerina in particular is spreading rumors. Opera ghost? Do you mean the Phantom of the Opera? Yes. Isn't it silly? They're saying it's the Phantom's ghost, returned to seek revenge on those who did him wrong 100 years ago. Have you seen a man with a cape recently? No, I've not seen anyone since everyone went home an hour ago. Who is this ballerina? Can I speak with her? Her name is Julie Giry. I believe she is still here, probably in her dressing room. I have not seen her leave tonight. Some of the cast stay all hours at the theater. Who else might be here? As soon as I finish what I'm doing, I'm going home. You might find Christine Florent in her dressing room. She is so dedicated to her art that she never leaves. Where is Mademoiselle Giry's dressing room? If you go through the stage right backstage, you will find a staircase to the dressing rooms. Goodbye for now, and thank you, sir. Oh, excuse me. You're welcome. Now I can finish writing down these sound cues so I can get out of here and go home. Goodbye, sir. You should get yourselves checked. Apparently you have a cold or something. Don't worry, Goblin. These types of things happen, you know. Life and all that. You're probably gonna catch the beginning of this on YouTube later on. You didn't miss much. You didn't miss much at all. Just the intro to the game. And my wonderful French accent for a character. A color frame is a piece of hardware that slides into the slot of the front of the lighting instrument. There is a yellow colored gel on this one. Can we take this? It is a frame. Boop. A color frame is a piece of hardware that slides into the sun. Yeah, you just told me that. Why did it go gray there over a second? It's an ordinary headset which the stage manager or a stage handler uses to communicate with the other. Can we take it? It is the property of the Paris Opera House and would not be much use to you anyway. Okay. What if we talk into it? You realize that nobody would be at the other end since the production is not currently in progress. To the backstage. or the Bat Cave, whichever comes first. Yeah, it's easy to tell that this was rotoscoped, because the animation is so fluent. This door must lead to other areas backstage, such as dressing rooms. It's not anyone you recognize. Sandbags are commonly used in the theater as counterweights for heavy lighting instruments or pieces of scenery. This is an artificial plant used for a stage setting. The metal staircase extends from the floor up into the fly loft above your head. You can go down below to the stairwell area where many props and things are stored, or up into the fly loft. The back wall of the stage is dark and made of brick. Not many people you actually see the back wall of the stage, as it usually remains hidden by scenery. This huge Egyptian statue is as tall as the fly loft. Its head is way up there. You know it's made of paper mache though. As they should be. Battens, sometimes called electrics, are steel pipes to which are attached scenery or lighting instruments. You stand wondering what kind of prop this might be when you suddenly realize that it's not a prop, it's part of the building. Thank you for that. My left ear loved that. The staircase leads up to the dressing rooms. The echo effect here is heavy. Stairwells such as this are always the best places to sing show tunes. You've seen boring walls before, but this one wins the prize. The floor here is dirty and much more worn than in other areas of the theater. This is an electric light fixture. The animation and the art really reminds me of Darkseid. And why are the dressing rooms all the way upstairs? You would think that it would be downstairs so they can get much quicker into the stage. The door on this landing leads to the dressing room corridor. Alright, good. So glad that they chose that kind of a sound effect for the doors. The door to the dressing room is open. Someone must be inside. The door to the dressing room is closed and locked. No one is inside. The bullet board is cluttered with several notices, mostly crew calls, casting announcements, rehearsals, schedules, and other theater-related business. This is an insignificant little wastebasket. Ugh. Man, that sound effect. The ballerina looks to be about 12 years old, but she's tall and lithe. She has a wiry, athletic figure typical of most ballerinas. She doesn't look 12 years old to me. If she's bigger than you from this perspective, she must be like freaking huge for a 12-year-old. That must hurt your ears. It does. With headphones, it does. Stings a little bit every time. This is the open air that you are breathing. This is a set of stairs made of sturdy wood. This is a stairwell. You says ascend or good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. No game or movie should use such sound effects, to be honest, yeah. It's purely a functional chair for the dressing table. The occupant applies makeup at this table. It is cluttered with makeup items. It appears that the occupant hasn't found the time to hang these yet. It's a travel poster advertising the Isle of St. Barths in the French Virgin Islands. It's a travel poster for Madrid. You sigh because you've never been there. You marvel at the propensity with which actors and actresses paste up newspaper reviews. As suspected, the rack contains several styles and types of costumes spanning all periods of history. I really need to put on my glasses, start to hurt my eyes. Because I have a bright background on my desktop. I think the artist didn't get the memo of the character's age, yeah. Apparently they didn't. Why, the trash bucket is empty and has a perfumey smell. The umbrella must belong to the occupant. The occupant uses the screen to dress behind when visitors are in the room. This oak wardrobe probably contains more of the occupant's clothes. This wall-sized mirror is perfect for practicing ballet moves. The bar is used for practicing ballet exercises and moves. It is made of wood. The walls are grey and nondescript, rather than more like a glass room than a dressing room. But then again, this isn't the star's quarters. The light illuminates the room quite nicely, casting a homey glow over the area. Someone must have given this to the occupant as a good show gift. The rocks look as if they have come from the thrift shop, but they provide a little homey quality to the room. Oh, homey. I can't do a Marge. Don't ever expect me to do a Marge Simpson. Anything else that we can look at here? This container looks like a small handbag. It probably contains makeup or something.
Bonjour, monsieur. Have a seat while I practice.
Well, bonjour. I am Detective Raoul Montand.
I'm Julie Ziri. What can I do for you?
Tell me a little about yourself.
Well, I'm a dancer with the ballet corps. I am taking acting lessons and hope to become a prima donna like Christine Florent.
Do you know Christine Florent well?
She's very sweet, but she tends to keep to herself like most prima donnas. I believe that she knows more about this Angelier incident that she lets on.
How long have you been associated with the opera?
My family has been with the opera all the way back to my great-grandmother. My mother was a costume seamstress. My grandmother was in the ballet like me. My great-grandmother worked in the public sector of the opera.
What do you think she knows?
When I mentioned that I saw the opera girls the other day, she turned quite pale and said not to spread such rumors.
What are your thoughts regarding the Chandelier tragedy?
I'm glad you asked. It was the opera ghost. He has returned. I always knew he would.
Why do you say that you always knew he would return?
Because I have dreamt about it. I have some of the powers that my great-grandmother had, you see.
Uh-huh. Your great-grandmother? Please enlighten me.
Madame Giry worked at the opera as what today we would call an usher. She looked after the boxes. She was in charge of the Phantom's personal box.
Hey there, Zero N. Doing a raid, huh? Awesome. Wait until you meet the bizarre character written into this game, not spoiling things, but it will make you cringe like it did you back in the day. The voice acting for that character was creepy too. Well, I don't have any voice acting because this is a non-CD version, so there's no voice acting except me. Don't tell me, the Phantom will walk down the hallway and run into a rodent that grows and splits apart in a grotesque display of blood and organs. Well, this is not a Dario Argento movie. Hint, it's not the Phantom. You like how the mirror is actually working. Yeah, some people do put effort in the games to make the mirrors work. Solo, but hey, one-man party. Yay. How did the Diablo 3 go? Hopefully well. His personal box? Go on, please.
It was box 5. He had ordered the manager of the opera never to sell the box as it is. He would attend the opera in that box, but no one knew how he got into it. He certainly didn't go through the door.
Dario Argento rocks. I'm a little bit of a meh to his movies. Actually, you were referencing Parasite Eve. Oh, you were referencing Parasite Eve. I've never played Parasite Eve. Or Dino Crisis, but I do know of them. All good, got to Act 2 Hardcore Seasonal. Never played the Hardcore, and I have never played Season mode. Maybe I should try at some point. Season mode at least, but not Hardcore. I don't play Hardcore. I don't like the idea of when the character dies, it is gone. Not my kind of thing. Didn't your great-grandmother see him in the box?
Never. She never tried to see him. She was a little afraid of him, despite his kindness. But my mother said that my great-grandmother told her that Box 5 had some kind of trick in it.
Tell me about your dreams.
I see him in a haze of darkness and shadows. He emerges. He has a woman with him, dressed in white, but I cannot see her face. She's wearing a mask. I think I know who she might be, though.
Who do you think she is?
The Phantom was in love with a singer named Christine Dae. It could be her, but I have a theory that it might be Christine Florent. There is some kind of connection between the two. Not only do they look alike, but they are both gifted singers. Perhaps that is why the ghost has returned here and now, because of her.
Tell me more about Madame Giry.
To put it bluntly, she was a psychic. She communicated with the Phantom without ever seeing him or speaking to him directly. She also wrote a book about him, which you can find in the Opera Library.
Communicated with him?
Yes, he would leave her the instructions in his box, but she almost always knew beforehand what he wanted and provided it. The ghost tipped her very well. He was good to her.
Tell me about the book.
She wrote it around the turn of the century. After the Phantom's supposed death, she became something of an authority of the man. If you haven't read it, you probably should.
How do you know it's the ghost?
Because I saw him.
What did he look like?
He was dressed formally, but his clothes were rather old-fashioned, of the kind they wore during his day. He had a cape and was carrying a cane. He was not wearing a mask. I only got a glimpse of his face, for it was very dark. It looked like a skull.
Where and when did you see him?
It was 2 nights ago. I was coming out of my dressing room and I saw him in the staircase. He turned to me, then quickly ran up the stairs. I was too frightened to follow.
Merci. I shall speak with you later. Adieu.
Adieu, monsieur.
Hey, Diesel. Of course I'm streaming. It's my usual streaming day. Don't you know my schedule? From Sunday to Thursday at 8 o'clock. Well, my time, 8 o'clock, but whatever it is, an hour ago for you. Always the same time. I keep a schedule, you know. Well, it makes the game more harsh. Yeah, I know. For some people, hardcore is more exciting on Diablo, but not to me. I prefer to keep my characters alive, like my ear. Ugh. You're bad at recognizing schedules. It's understandable, time zones and all, you know. I mean, what time is it right now for you, Diesel? Somebody forgot to turn this off. I heard a noise that I was like, is somebody in my apartment? No, it's just my freaking stupid phone. You have a hard time making a schedule and even more to keep them. For you, 25 after 3 p.m. So you're East Coast. Special snowflake half-hour time zone. Yeah. You're like close to the East Coast, right? No, wait. After 3 p.m., that's 15, so that's 5 hours of a difference. So you're somewhere totally else than East Coast US. Because the East Coast US would be 7 hours. The door on this landing leads to the dressing room corridor. So there's another. Eastern Canada, way eastern. Yep, Nova Scotia or something? That sound effect is really awful. Now you know this is the Stars dressing room corridor. It raises a nice plant for decoration. This is a fire axe, which should be used only in the case of an emergency. The electric light fixture illuminates the corridor quite nicely. Ah, Newfoundland! Ah, okay. So for you, when I start my live streams, it would be... So now it's 25, so it would be 3:30 for you in 5 minutes. 3:30, 1 hour, so 2:30. But I have the pre-stream, so 2:15 p.m. If you want to come in and listen to some music before I start the stream, it will be 2:15 p.m. You note that the wall here is dark and nondescript. You note that this is a well-worn floor made of wood. Can we note anything else around here? Like the table? This is a nice mahogany table for the placement of decorative objects. You only just got done finishing setting up your new TV. Ah, you got the new TV. Awesome. Now let's go talk to the star of the show. Mademoiselle Christine Fleuron. The abstract painting is an oil by an artist named Anon. Anon? Anonymous. It's obvious to be a woman's dressing room, given that the wallpaper is pink. Of course, obviously, it's a woman's dressing room, it's pink. There's a lot of guys that I know that actually like the color pink, and they are not gay either. Pink doesn't mean that you're gay, you just like the color. The mural shows a ballerina in action. Could it be a Degas original? Clothes dummies are often used for costume experimentation. Well, you're a dummy too. What are you used for? Are you gonna go, Zeroland? Okay. I'll see you later. To promote advice from the other day, you're not using some kind of super skinny V-shaped feet on said TV. Yeah, hopefully you're not using those, Diesel. But then again, if you did get a refund, then it is pretty much the same TV. God, no, it's a proper wide base. Thankfully. Good. For once, the floor looks polished and green. Green. Yeah, it's green. Did you see? This throw rug gives the place a homey, lived-in atmosphere. This couch looks extremely comfortable. It reminds you that you've been on your feet for some time now. There appears to be a small note protruding from the pocket of the dressing gown. It's a silk dressing gown and probably quite smooth and soft, but you don't want to rub it while someone is in the room. The full-length mirror appears to be permanently fixed to the wall. For a moment I thought I saw something there. The wardrobe most likely contains clothing and costumes and is the property of the occupant. The occupant uses the screen to dress behind when someone else is in the room. There are some clothes hung over the screen. The hat rack is purely functional. It is used to hold many items other than hats. Actors often paste up copies of newspaper reviews on their dressing rooms. This one cites particular praise for Christine Fleuron's latest performance. Does make you want to walk through the looking glass, doesn't it? That is, maybe it is fixed, but I can tell that is a secret door of some kind. The table is cluttered with makeup items. You are momentarily struck speechless by how beautiful the woman is. She appears to be in her early 20s and has short dark hair and piercing brown eyes. The woman has a pleasant, friendly demeanor. Bonjour, who are you? Bonjour, I am Raoul Montan of the Surette.
I am Christine Florent. I am glad you are here. Please sit down.
Gotta find a voice for hey? Why are you glad I am here?
Because I believe I'm in danger. I've been afraid to mention it to anyone. Until tonight.
What do you mean by until tonight?
You have a kind face, monsieur. I sense that I can trust you.
Why do you think you're in danger?
It's somehow connected with the chandelier falling tonight.
Can you tell me anything about the chandelier falling?
Yes, I suppose I must speak up now. I haven't been afraid to mention anything until this happened. I believe it is all because of me that those poor people were killed.
Why do you think it is all because of you?
Because of the opera ghost has returned to seek his revenge. But why me? I do not know.
The opera ghost? What do you know about him?
Only that his name was Eric and he was a talented composer and architect. Some say he possessed black magic abilities, but who knows? You probably think I might be crazy, but I believe in him. He speaks to me in my dreams. Actually, it's the same dream, over and over.
Tell me about your dreams.
There is a mysterious man dressed formally in a cape. He's standing in the shadows with a mist surrounding him. He beckons to me. He has a seductive quality that I cannot resist. I go to him, but his face is in shadow.
What else happens in the dream?
He makes love to me. At first it is passionate and pleasurable, but then I always begin to feel trapped and I struggle to get away. I reach up to move his face into the light, but he won't let me.
What does he do then?
My attempt to see him angers him, and he wraps a thin rope around my neck. He starts to strangle me. Just as I start to black out, I wake up. It's very frightening.
What makes you think he's after you?
Because I received a note from him.
Do you still have this note?
Yes, if you want it, you can have it. It's there in my dressing gown.
What does the note say? Ding 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 ding.
That he is seeking his revenge on me for leaving him to die alone, or something like that. I don't know what he means.
I'll take a look at that note if you don't mind.
Please do.
Beep. Beware! I have returned to seek my revenge against you for leaving me to die in loneliness and solitude. Not even your lover can save you this time, oh dear.
Oh, gee!
Man. The original gangster. Nice touch of making the player character sit down while conversing for more than 2 seconds. Is one expected to have watched the actual play, then bought this disc as a story extension? Well, this is set 100 years after the original Phantom of the Opera story. I mean, 110 years. So, I mean, it's easy to tell that this is like repetition of the original, but there's something else going on here that we have to find out what it is. I mean, it could be the ghost of the original the Phantom, like Eric has been resurrected somehow, or it could be just somebody who thinks they are Eric, a copycat, you know. That's the whole mystery of this thing. Is it really the Eric somehow resurrected, or is it somebody who's just as crazy as Eric was? Have you ever seen him when you were awake?
Never. Only in the dream. But little Julie Giry has claimed to have seen him. She described him just as he appears in the dream.
Have you ever heard of Christine Daae?
Yes, I know the story of the Phantom. No one knows what happened to Christine Daae or her lover Raoul de Chagny. Supposedly they disappeared together. I don't blame them. I have heard stories that I resemble her.
You are not related to her, are you?
Frankly, I do not know. My grandmother was orphaned, so I am not unsure of my lineage prior to her. There is only one curious clue.
And what is that clue?
that she was born in Scandinavia, and that was where Christine Daae was from, and to where it is speculated that she and Raoul de Chagny fled.
Adieu, Mademoiselle Florent. I must leave now.
Wait, monsieur, do not leave me, please, I am frightened.
I must continue my investigation.
I see. But promise me that you will return, alright? I feel like we have known each other before. Somewhere.
I promise to return.
Merci, monsieur. I look forward to seeing you again. Adieu.
Interesting indeed. Catch you later, baby. Lots of coincidences going on around here. Her name is Christine, he is Raoul. I would not be surprised if that really is Eric. That is the Phantom here again. Duh! My ear! Every time. Some entertainment has to be shown during this long walk. You love these MIDI trumpets. I do too. They always sound so... I don't know. There's some charm to them, you know, the trumpets. How you doing? I'll just have Alfie here with me. Duh! Alfie, make that sound effect go away. I think we should go upstairs to the fly loft to check out how the chandelier was brought down and killed all those people. MIDI music has its own... Sacre bleu! Someone didn't call heads! Calling heads when you drop something is the first rule in the theater. You think. There doesn't appear to be anyone up there. Was this an accident? Or something else? Dun dun dun! MIDI music has its own quality. It's kind of terrible, but you'll love it. Our hero casually descends the sturdy stairs in a fashion denoting calmness in his attitude. It appears to be just an ordinary theater sandbag, but the rope attached to it looks conspicuously cut. Can we take the sandbag? Okay, we have a sandbag. Sandbags are commonly used in this one is a heavy 10-pound bag, and the rope attached to it looks conspicuously cut. Alright, now we go to the skyloft. Like that he actually takes another look that there's no more sandbags coming down. Shadow. You suddenly get a creepy feeling that someone is watching you. You notice that there is an awful lot of rope up here. Well, there has to be. Can we take some hemp? This coil of hemp is too big and heavy. It's dirty too. The various supports up here do just that. They keep you from falling from a great height. The railing, such as it is, provides a handhold on the catwalk. The catwalk extends from the back wall of the theater out over the stage and on top of the grid above the audience. It goes all the way back to the house. This is the extreme back wall of the theater. It is darker than the side walls so that the audience cannot see it. Called the Cyc for short, the cyclorama is a large piece of scenery which defines the back of the stage setting. It is usually made of a large dark curtain, as it is today. Sometimes it is colored blue to simulate a sky. You're gonna walk across the town to check the mail. I'll be back in a bit. Okay, Diesel, see you later. Or like Gabriel says, Sill. You notice that there is an awful lot of rope here. We're gonna need a lot more hemp before we're through. This is a standard 20-pound sandbag used in theaters the world over. Can we take another sandbag? This is a 20-pound bag and it's much too burdensome to bother with. This is a 10-pounder. How is it any different? 10 pounds difference, but still. You'd think that this dark tarp is rather spooky looking, as if something is hidden beneath it. Can we pull on it to make sure there's nothing there? You quickly realize that pulling the tarp will not accomplish anything concrete. Open the tarp? You quickly realize that opening the tarp will not provide anything concrete. This is a common electrical cable found in the theaters around the world. Can we take it? You attempt to take the cable, but quickly deduce that this action would be a waste of your valuable time and energy. I'm glad that they actually have descriptions that they're saying that you can't do that or anything. Today has been crazy. Well, you have an ease with you. I just hope that you're doing better today than yesterday. I hope everybody's been having a better day than yesterday. At least I have. These ellipsoidal spotlights are the modern lighting standards used in theaters around the world. Yes, they are. Yeah, it seems like everybody was feeling off yesterday, yeah. But today seems that everybody's doing a lot better. There's a blue frame. The metal catwalk is wide enough for one person to traverse comfortably. Let's take the blue frame. I wonder where the red one is. Slightly better today, thanks, but still not 100%. Anything you want to talk about, or just stuff? There is a blue colored gel in this one. No, not really. Just had to ask. That's all. So I think this is... Here, the grid is actually the ceiling over the auditorium. Workers in the theater... Planning on framing anyone? Yeah, I'll once I get the red one, we'll frame 3 people with different colors. Here, the grid is actually the ceiling over the auditorium. Workers in the theater step out of the grid to open the chandelier trap that they will pull up the huge chandelier for periodic maintenance and cleaning. Well, not anymore. Apparently, the killer cut the chandelier from here. The crates up here are old, dusty, and probably contain nasty things that bite. There seems to be some kind of note attached to the cable. Well, let's take the note. I'm sure we're gonna need it. My dear Raoul, it is time that we settle our differences. 100 years is a long time to hold a grudge, and the weight of it has become unbearable. Revenge is the sweetest of all music, and soon the opera house shall be ringing with it. OG. So the ghost thinks that we, Raoul, are the real Raoul. Christine, like I said, Christine, Raoul, and now the ghost. Ah, there's a green one. Let's take that too. I'm sure we need to find a red one as well. I wonder if it has green gel in it. Green colored gel. What a big freaking surprise. I just wanted to go back because I saw something here. Ah, it was just nothing. Opera personnel pull up the chandelier through this hole. Like I said, not anymore. Have I met the Phantom yet? Nope. We have seen him once and saw his shadow. We've only found these 2 notes from him, but that's all. This support column appears to go all the way down beneath the grid into the floor below. So this is the end of this area. The ductwork is the means by which the theater is ventilated. Can I double click to make it faster? We're gonna need some entertainment while I walk all the way back to the staircase. So you're gonna go move up there while I do this. If Booblesnoot had a voice, what it would sound like? I don't know. I've always considered all of these mascots silent. Never thought of giving them voices. I don't know. I really don't know. The musician had a thing for that tuba toot. Oh, it's a nice low sound. Might be a sousaphone. I could just stop booping my snoot. Kinda trying to play a game here, Booblesnoot. Well, as long as you don't pick my nose, you can stay there. By walking around this sector, you would arrive in the stage right wing. Well, let's go. You don't want to look at the game at all? So I want to stay there. That was not a good idea. Almost made myself sneeze because of Booblesnoot's hair. Or rather, the material that he's made out of. Oh. Well, I think we've done everything that we can in the backstage and everywhere else. So I guess we're gonna go back to the front. Can I actually jump down from here? Jump into Orchestra Pit? It's probably a greater distance than it appears, but you throw a caution into the wind and jump. When someone says break a leg in the theater, it doesn't mean jump into the orchestra pit and literally fracture one. Now who's going to solve this case? So no wonder there is no save or load option. If you do something stupid, the game will just bring you back. That's good to know. So you can die, but it continues where you left off like 2 seconds ago. So that's good. That's a good design. I like that. Very good design. Hit F1 or ESC for save options. So you can save. Come to think of it, how much progress have we actually made? A casual is very casual. Wait, did we just see a death? Yeah, kind of dead, yeah. I would say that was a death. Let's see, F1. Ah. Check score. This is certainly not the start. Day 1, maybe? I don't know. What should we make the save name? Initial interrogations done. Save complete. Good to know. Now let's see that score. You have achieved a score of 30 out of 250 possible. It gives you the rank of dresser. Yes, we are a dresser. Somebody put some clothes in me right now. Don't put clothes in me. But 30 out of 250? Fifth way through already. Still playing the intro, yeah. Had a feeling. I mean, we haven't gone in a progress of chapters yet, so... Probably once we leave here, we're gonna get chapter 1. It's like, oh god, this game's gonna be long. But I don't mind.
Yes, what is it? Oh, it's you again. I think I told you everything I have to say. Now, I'm a very busy man. I'm just about finished here, and I would like to go home. Adieu.
Excuse me, Mr. Important. 1/8 of the way through. It's a long game. But like I said, I don't mind. I'm actually enjoying this game. Very fascinating already.
Very fascinating indeed.
It's been a long time since I've played a new kind of an adventure game, be it old or new. But it is good. Yeah? Hey, Valtier. Hey there. A fellow potato. Sup, ho? Who you calling a hoe, bitch? Oh, what's the game today? It just says retro. Ah! My ears! Damn those door hinges! Oh, Return of the Phantom. That is the name of the game. I mean, normally if somebody asks for the title of the game, I'd just do this. Name of the game is in the title, but it's retro, but I do have the title up there. Yeah, I know. I mean, with old games, it's better to just put retro in there because that draws in a better audience of retro gamers. Wow, it slows down in the chandelier area. That door sound is worse than the scream in Friday the 13th on the C64. No, not really. The scream on the Friday the 13th is screechier than that. Kind of on the same level, I would say. You're surprised this isn't being sold on GOG. Well, there is always the licensing and finding the game and who has the license for it and all that, so... Is Spider Plays Retro game the game name is on the title? I thought it had there, like SpiderMwa is playing Phantom on the Return of the Phantom. I'm sure many of these licenses are expired, but the game company might have been bought by somebody and now they hold the license, and getting the license from big companies can be a bitch. So that's why some games don't appear on GOG. It's all about because the companies who hold the licenses for the games are bitches. They just don't want to give them up for some reason. It's a big hassle. Whatever happened to Microprose? They made this. I think Atari bought them? I think. Not really sure if it was Atari or maybe it was, you know, EA. The new Twitch UI messes it up. Yeah, true. It's more about the IP than the actual game. That's why they want to keep them, in case they become popular in the future. Yeah, many retro games are popular right now, thanks to GOG. I bet you if another movie came out, this game would be popular. I don't know. I mean, it's not just about all the IP of the game or anything, but it's also about how many people know of the game. I mean, GOG just doesn't pick out games like, we'll just take this and put it on sale, maybe somebody will buy it. They don't do that. They actually handpick games that people demand that they put on GOG. So if enough people demand this game on GOG, then they would work on getting this game to GOG to be put on sale. Yeah, you can go to their forums and suggest games there. Yeah. That's why I like it. That's why I like GOG these days over Steam, because of the no DRM, all DRM free stuff. You buy it, you own it. And you get all the goodies with the games too. You can get, when you buy the game, it can come with like PDF forms of the manuals and other cool stuff that might have come with the game, a map. And also with some games you get the soundtrack. So all those goodies can be downloaded as well. They're really good about that. Well, they weren't really good about that earlier, but these days they are. Because sometimes when they put like games that they say that it's the deluxe edition or the complete edition, sometimes they miss out on some items that they don't actually have all the DLC or the extras in it. But, you know, it's a mistake that they also correct afterwards. If somebody complains that this is not the complete set, then they try to rectify it as soon as possible. Isn't there a GOG employee who sometimes comes here, or are you confused? Sometimes somebody comes here who is a GOG enthusiast. Not a real employee, but they do play games. They belong into the GOG gaming community. You don't really buy the older games from them, but the ones from the past 10 years have been good about it, in your opinion. I've bought all kinds of games from them, even older than 10 years old. Games from the 90s and some games from the 80s. Why? Because I am an 80s kid. That's why. I'm an old man. The floor is a polished marquetry tile containing a rosette in the parquet. You feel as if you're walking into the palace of some wealthy sultan. The molding looks as if it is gold-plated. It is extremely ornate and intricate. You appreciate fine art and you would enjoy studying the molding more closely if you had the time. But you don't. ... They really outdid themselves with the stuff that came with the Ultimus and Gold Box games. Manuals, hint books, and even scans of the copy protection wheels. Yep, they did do that. You like the old Batman games, you mean the 8-bit ones? Like the Sega ones, 16-bit. I have never played Sega, but I have seen gameplays of the Sega Batman games and they look really fun. Most of them. They're really well done. Small chandeliers hanging from the ceiling cast a shimmering light across the hallway, accenting the golden flare of the walls. The overdoor medallions are paintings by designer Charles Garnier's friend and artist Baudry. You notice that they mostly depict nude angels flying around. You think that if heaven is like that, then you will resolve to be a good person for the rest of your life. This doorway leads to the curving the staircase that leads to the floor above, the loge corridor, and the private boxes. This wall is a blast of glittering tonality, a mixture of golden molding and marble inlays. As light is reflected off the surface, you feel almost blinded by the near gaudiness of the effects. Wasn't so hot on the NES ones, for Batman you mean. Well, the NES games, especially like Batman, they're harsh, they're hard, difficult games. This appears to be a bust of the composer Berlioz. The polished wood doors are each pierced by a porthole window filled with etched glass. Some boxes have been reserved by the same family for several generations. This particular box is locked. Well, that's the box 5 that we want to go and investigate, because this is the one that Eric had for himself. The door is locked. Eric, as in the Phantom of the Opera. This is the way to the Grand Foyer. The artists really earned their pay on this title. Yep. NES Batman is good but hard. It is. I've never really played it myself.
What else shall we find here?
The painting, like all of the work of the Grand Foyer, was done by Garnier's friend Baudry. You note that despite their immensity, the compositions possess vitality and character, as well as a genuine freshness of color. Artists did a good job on the walking animations here. I think it's rotoscoped. It's easy to tell because it's so fluent that it was rotoscoped. That felt like the Lady or the Tiger hallway. This doorway leads to the Opera Library. We need to go there. I mean, otherwise it wouldn't be such fluent animation. The painting is of a nude woman reclining on a bed. You consider that such a decoration might be distracting to certain readers. You're in Paris, monsieur. That doesn't faze anybody. They see nude, erotic, nude paintings everywhere. In ye old France. The windows in the library overlook a courtyard outside. You think it would take some awfully large flowers to fill up one of these vases. They're not for flowers. The lamp is perfect for reading light. The glass case has been smashed open. Whatever valuable objects it once contained are now missing. Someone obviously broke into the case during the chandelier confusion. You don't say! Quite a detective you are. At least he's detecting. Boy. So there's nothing there? Damn. I'm sure these hold all the items that were found in the catacombs. The Persian throw rug gives the room a nice symmetry. There are literally thousands of books in here. It's even more impressive than some public libraries you have been in. Not really, a public library would be 10 times bigger than this. Retroscoping, quite the impressive technique. Rotoscoping gives it that King's Quest 6 feel. Rotoscoping, well, I have to say this. This rotoscoping isn't as good as its own Impossible Mission. Actually, it is. But it was very impressive, the rotoscoping in Epic's games. Back in the day. The coffee table makes the library seem more like someone's living room or study than an official library. The literary herpetier. You scan the shelves for several minutes looking for the book that Julie Guéry said that was written by her great-grandmother. Finally, you find it. There it is. You quickly thumb through Madame Guéry's book about Eric, the Phantom of the Opera, and find it to be an interesting story. You're especially struck by the final paragraph. As for Eric, the Phantom of the Opera, no one is entirely sure what happened. How he met his death is unknown. It is said that after Christine Daae fled with Raoul de Chagny, Eric died of loneliness and solitude in the depths of the catacombs. A skeleton unearthed in 1899 was believed to be that of the Phantom. A few artifacts were found which were thought to have belonged to him. These were placed in the Opera House library for safekeeping, but no one has proven that the Phantom of the Opera did in fact die. Perhaps his spirit lives on, hoping that one day Christine Daae would return to him in another form, in another time. I do not believe that the world has heard the last of Eric, the Phantom of the Opera. They're really building up this ghost story to be real. It's kind of fascinating. One of the best early examples was Prince of Persia on the PC. True. Ugh! It's getting even louder. How's that possible? Because now I heard it on my right ear. The Goblin's tapestries were woven from Mazerol's cartoons. They represent ancient hunters, nymphs, and other mythological beings. Really? That one looks like a normal person to me. I'm not sure what that is supposed to be. Monsieur Brie is here, looking a bit worried. You have known him for years and he is a fairly good friend. The manager of the Opera House is in his late 30s. That doesn't belong to you. I was just looking at it. Calm down, game. I was just taking a look. You wonder if even Charles de Gaulle had a desk like this exquisite. It certainly is large. The wall in the office is covered in a pastel wallpaper which serves it to relax the eyes. You'd think you would like an office such as this back in the Surrey. The thin, transparent shears don't do much for privacy, but they certainly are pretty. The large windows provide plenty of light for the office in the daylight hours. You wonder how many people have fallen asleep in one of these while talking to the manager? Plenty, I'm sure.
Ah, Monsieur Montan, tell me what you have learned.
I was going to point a reference towards Popeye the Sailor meets Sinbad the Sailor from 1936. Today they CG that stuff. Yep, everything's 3D these days, no more hand-drawn. Really, pretty much the hand-drawn animation style has died, but there are some artists that actually still are making a lot of hand-drawn animation, and they have made jobs out of it. On YouTube and such. The Phantom has communicated to us by writing.
Oh, really? The Phantom, eh? Well, let's see what you have. Well, anyone can write a note and sign it, OG.
I found a note addressed to me.
Really? This is extraordinary. Let me think about this for a bit. I do have a note from the Opera Ghost. I think I thought it was a sick joke at first, but now... Well, here it is on the desk. Take it. I suppose I should have said something and notified the authorities. The tragedy might have been prevented. I feel terrible.
You do not have more permission to further my Don one triumph and cease the production immediately. I shall cause thee a great deal of stress, OG. Well, Cuphead, yeah, that's a game actually that is hand-drawn. Yeah. I've never played Cuphead. I probably would do bad in it. There has been another crime in the library.
What do you mean?
Apparently, during the chaos tonight, you had a burglary.
What? The library? Oh no, we were also preoccupied with the chandelier mishap that no one noticed.
The artifacts are missing.
No, they're priceless. But who would have wanted them? They're of no use really to anyone but the Phantom.
It seems that this opera ghost of yours does exist. Monsieur Brie raises his eyebrows at your statement, but then you shrug your shoulders, indicating that you're only half serious.
Oh, come on, come now, Raoul. You've been listening to too many rumors.
Falling sandbags are not rumors. What? Did you have an accident? I think someone tried to kill me.
Oh dear, my insurance premium is really going to go up now. Well, thank goodness you're alright.
You and Charles sound alike.
Well, he doesn't believe these rumors either. We're so both sane, rational men.
I'm not sure they are rumors.
What do you mean by that, Raoul?
Earlier, I saw a man with a cape and a mask.
My dear Raoul, I have only to quote my late friend Samuel Beckett, the playwright. All men are born mad, some remain so. Perhaps you should go home and rest.
Well, what do you have to say about all this?
Perhaps there is more to this than I thought. Do you really think this could be the work of the original Phantom of the Opera? Has Eric really returned?
No, impossible.
You are probably right. But still, the evidence is quite compelling.
It seems to me we're dealing with the supernatural.
Well, if one believes in such sort of thing.
Do you? Yes, it's the only explanation.
Then you are much more fanciful than I, Raoul. But all of this does give me the creeps. Well, Raoul, it sounds as if you have done an excellent job with investigating this case. It seems that all evidence points to the existence of some thing or someone trying to make us believe that he is the real Phantom of the Opera. I say we should.
You hear a woman scream in the distance.
What was that? Who was that?
You now recognize it to be Julie Guéry's voice, screaming in terror.
Oh, help! Come quick! It's Christine! Come quick! Help! Quickly, go to Christine's dressing room. Find out what happened.
5 minutes later. I should take the fire axe. This is an emergency. It's only for emergency, but this is an emergency. They did a TED Talks on the animation of Cuphead. Did you see that?
Nah, don't think I saw that.
Here it's super hard. Yeah, I have heard that it is a really hard game. It's really fun with a friend though. First thing he thinks about is his insurance premium. Quality guy right there. The problem with streaming Cuphead is you've got to be pretty good at it to start with, else it comes off like watching the same cartoon 1,000 times over. Very true. Better for an edited Let's Play. And what is not a hard boss rush of a game is a hard platformer, so this one is one Spidey should skip out on. Yeah, that's the reason why I never got Cuphead for myself, because I know I would not do well in it at all. But if you excuse me for a second, I'm gonna go get myself another drink. Because talking so much with the different voices really dries out your throat, you know. Wasn't suggesting he streams that. Yeah, I know, Voltier. Platformer plus super hard, probably best left alone. Yep. If I were to play the game, I would just play it on my own, not do a let's play or a stream of it. But I'll be back in 30 seconds. Refreshing. Hi, Yoshi. I'm not sure if Walter you saw the pictures I took of Yoshi that I showed in the Discord at one point. But I've got a ginormous Yoshi plushie. See, that's the size of my hand compared to his face. Yoshi! Wanna take over, Yoshi? This game might not be good for you, though. Scary. It's gonna be a scary game. Oh. Excuse me. At least with Cuphead, when you die, it's usually your own fault. The game's controls are really tight. No. Well, I would die constantly on it because you know my reputation with platformers. Especially 2D platformers. I'm a lot better in 3D platforming than 2D. Although there are some 2D platformers that I am good at, like Mega Man 1 and 2 and the Impossible Mission. Constantly dying, that is the point of Cuphead, alright. I don't think that's the point of it, but it is the reality of it. You just realized the other day that McCready pouring whiskey into the chess machine in the movie The Thing is probably one of the first recorded rage quits. I think so. I think it is. Well, let's go see what she's screaming about. Oh, Mademoiselle Florent?
He's dead. I saw him, monsieur. The Phantom. He was wearing his mask this time. I was backstage when he came running out of the stage right the stairwell. He ran up the circular staircase to the fly loft. Hurry! He's probably still there.
Julie said that the culprit ran to the fly loft. You quickly realized that catching the murderer is more important than anything else. You must hurry! Alright. Can I now take the fire axe? You start to take the axe, but then think better of it. You cannot see yourself hacking on a human being, even if he's a murderer. Yeah, we gotta hurry. I'll just walk. Da 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 da. Mega Man is a good platformer game, same as Super Mario. These are not super hard, but everyone plays these. Not me. I don't like Super Mario 1 at least. Super Mario 2 I played through back in the day. Super Mario 3 I don't do well. But Mega Man 1 and 2? I'm pretty good at them. What about the Mechanical Turk? The ancient chess-playing automaton, which was actually controlled by a puppeteer. Mega Man and Mario are the platformers to define all platformers. Yep. Mario 2 was good, not played Mario 3. Mario 3 is a great game, but it is harder than 2. Legends say that the operator would have... You really love All Stars. All Stars is a good version of all the Mario games. Hey there, Rooster. Donkey Kong Country was the best. Never played it. Don't feel so bad about Mario platforming after all. There's this bot that is live streaming its attempt to beat SMB. Takes the thing days to beat just one level. I mean, to a certain point on the first Super Mario Brothers, I am good. Or okay, at least. But I'm much better with Super Mario Brothers 2. Ah, he was behind the tarp this time. Yeah, this is definitely rotoscoped. Wait, what? We died? Whoops. No, I've never played it, because I didn't own a Super Nintendo, I only borrowed it from friends, and they didn't have that many games on it. Now the game starts. Huh. Do you mean the first rage quit recorded on film, or the first time that a human rage quitted against a computer? Never mind. It was the first rage quit recorded on film. That's what they meant. It was a joke, Gabriel. Don't take it seriously. It was just a joke. You awake, as if from a deep, dark sleep. You could swear that it was a kiss that woke you. You are gazing into the eyes of a beautiful girl. She resembles Christine Florent, but it is not her. A strange man stands beside her. Your head hurts. You feel dizzy and disoriented.
Raoul, wake up. Are you alright?
Monsieur de Chagny. Oh dear. Wait, he's opening his eyes. He's awake. Dieu merci. Thank God.
Oh, Raoul, are you alright? Can you hear me?
You just tried to start a mock debate about the joke and failed miserably. Well, apparently you failed because nobody knows what you're talking about. So it was so obscure that it failed. Sorry. Sorry about that, Gabriel. It was a good effort. At least it was a good effort. Where am I?
Oh, you're on the stage of the opera. You had a bad fall. What were you doing on the flylofts, Raoul? You're lucky you bounced off of a flat. My love, you could have been killed.
The Phantom? He just killed Mademoiselle Florent. He killed who?
Mademoiselle Florent? Who is that?
Poor man is delirious. Shall we take him to the hospital? But the Phantom, he pushed me. The Phantom? You mean the opera ghost? You saw him? My dear Vicomte, are you sure?
He's had a bad fall, Monsieur Richard. He needs to rest.
Did you call me Vicomte? What do you mean?
Raoul, don't tell us you have amnesia.
You are Raoul, the Vicomte de Chagny. Have you forgotten? We fall down to our death, but apparently that takes us to the past. I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. You never knew he said grey, always heard grave. I heard grave too. Jup, you're not the only one there. You failed because you missed the point. First time that a human was filmed rage quitting when playing a computer. But that was the whole point of it. The joke. The reference of McCready destroying the chess machine because he rage quitted. But is this the whole game, Goblin? That now we're back in the past. And we have to try to destroy the real Phantom so he doesn't do all the bad things in the future. So instead of this being a horror mystery thriller in the future, we're actually time traveled back to the past in the real story of the Phantom of the Opera. So this is not the return of the Phantom, this is going back to the Phantom of the Opera. Somehow I feel let down by figuring this out. I was really hoping that we would be staying in the present time. Oh well, let's go. I guess the mystery was in the books that they told that nobody knew what happened to her or Raoul in the past, or if the Phantom even died. So are we just gonna be on a time loop all the time? We're not gonna be able to stop him at all or something, and the events in the future will still happen again? I mean, that's how it's supposed to go, but unless this is like Back to the Future, where we can fix things and we will make a new timeline in the future. You understand this letdown? I mean, 2 hours in and what we have learned? Well, we have learned that the Phantom of the Opera was a real thing. You never completed this, so you don't know. So it's gonna be a mystery to everybody. Who are you?
I'm Christine. Remember? Christine Dae. Perhaps you should see a doctor, Raoul.
Wait, can you tell me the date?
Why, it's June 24th.
What is the year?
The year? Why, 'tis 1881.
All year long. Christine Daae. But you look like Christine Florent.
Raoul, who is Christine Florent? I think you must see the doctor.
Who is he?
Why, you know Monsieur Richard. He's the manager of the opera. He's one of your closest friends.
Don't worry about it, old man. Rest your head. It will all come back to you in a while. But I must know about the unusual tuxedo you are wearing. Where did it come from? I have never seen this style before. Very dashing. The tuxedo? I got it in London, that's it. That figures. Those Englishmen are always trying to push the boundaries of fashion. Please go now. I'll be alright.
Of course, I must run out for a bit, Raoul. I shall be in my dressing room in a while. Please come visit me. I need to speak with you. My door will be open when I'm back. Rest and don't overtax yourself. Adieu. See you soon.
You take it easy, Raoul. I shall be in my office. Come see me in a bit. I have received yet another note from our friend, the opera ghost. Adieu for now. So he's close to time travel too? Apparently. What has happened to me? I've gone back in time somehow. And they say I'm Raoul de Chagny. This is bizarre. I must be dreaming. I'll pinch myself. Beep. Ouch. Well, I'm awake, and I'm still here. I guess all I can do is work this thing out. Maybe catching the Phantom is the key. Alright, I'll go along with this, whatever it is. Look out, Eric, Monsieur Phantom of the Opera. I've got your number. We lost all of our frames and everything. Damn, they didn't travel with us. Maybe this is one of those Groundhog Day scenarios. It just is. Never explained. Well, Groundhog Day scenario is that you repeat the same day over and over and over again. So this is not the same thing. That's not really Groundhog Day is not really time traveling, you know? So he lost his wallet, apparently. The hardwood stage is smooth yet worn. Luckily, it is devoid of any splinters. The management keeps it in pristine condition. The prompter peers through this opening from the trap room below so that he can cue the actors if needed. There is a little bit of fascination to this, that we are a time traveler now. Unlike its counterpart from the 20th century, the stage manager's post here is merely a podium upon which the stage manager's script is set. So we can straight see the differences about all this time traveling. All this time travel illogical madness. Well, the most illogical thing is, how did we get here? We were thrown off the freaking fly loft and suddenly we time traveled? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. We didn't drink a magic potion, we didn't have a machine with us, it just happened. A cable hook. There's some kind of a hook-like object on the floor. I'll take it because I can. This thick wire hook is usually used to hold a heavy surplus cable or hemp and is attached to light standards or poles. Never forget the dream scenario potential. I don't want this to be just a dream. I'm sure we'll be able to accomplish something here that will affect the future. It is quite illogical. How did his tuxedo travel in time with him? And not his wallet? So many questions, no answers. He fell to his death, so he may be comatose and dreaming all this. That is a possibility. Is his stomach empty too? Probably. But with that logic, so would be his bladder, his liver, his pancreas, and everything, so he should be dead. Even after time traveling. Well, it's good to know that the frames are still here. You attempt to take the catwalk, but quickly deduce that this action would be a waste of your valuable time and energy. Well, I was trying to take the frame. A color frame is a piece of hardware that slides into the slot at the front of the lighting instrument. There is a blue color gel in this one. At first you ignore the discarded object, but then you realize this is a modern color frame. What's it doing here in 1981? That actually is a really good question. How did that... what? If we're gonna find the green one here as well, then there's something happening here that doesn't make any sense. This dirty hemp and newly installed electrical cable holds up the chandelier. The cable is attached to the chandelier traversed through this hole. It's probably big enough for you to slip through as well. I don't know why we would want to do that. Knowing this game, his bowel is empty, but his bladder is full. Also, can't forget the cheap plot twist, and he's now in purgatory. Why are these modern frames in the past? That is fascinating. When someone wakes up in the past, or another dimension, etc., after a head injury, the story tends to treat it as a mental or spiritual channeling. So your clothes don't come with you. Instead, you're wearing whatever your native self did, because your mind has entered a native body. Whoever was the local equivalent of you is now you. Yeah, he should be wearing a period-appropriate tux. Yeah, if this is supposed to be the Raoul of the past, he should be wearing Raoul's of the past clothing. And these frames shouldn't be here, so there's something else happening here. You got to sleep now. It was nice to see what game Spider was playing, because it will like surprise when you get to the Spider Strange. Okay, sleep well, Sonic. I'm sure there was some words in capital letters. Oh, you mean if I take a look at the green frame again? I mean, it says modern color frame. That's the only thing in capitals. The problem with trying to apply universal rules to things is that you presume the writers were also following set laws of how things work. Yeah, they're making this up themselves. This is their own story. It's just fascinating to just think of how this works. That's the only problem with it. You're not trying to apply them, just saying that they ought to have done what they ought to have done. Well, they are trying something different, Gabriel. That's all it is. It just doesn't make any sense when you think of all kinds of other time travel stories, so eventually we might find out what the heck's happening here. Get some answers. Maybe the developers didn't want to reanimate Raoul with the new costume due to the budget or disk space. Or maybe it's part of the puzzle. Like I said, it's a mystery on its own how this happens, how these are here, and how he's in the future clothing. It's all a mystery that we have to solve, that's all. That's all it is. In the past. Okay, got it. The animations are pretty much the same as they are in Darkseid. It reminds me so much of Darkseid. Then again, the story itself acknowledges that he's wearing a new suit, therefore it must be relevant. Okay, given the modern gels, I'm gonna go with the mystery regarding the tuxedo. Anybody see anything unusual around here? The dome above the audience surrounds you as you hang on to the chandelier. The painted scene depicts a heavenly skyscape of angels and clouds. You feel like you're really floating up here. I don't see anything unusual. Ah, Eldritch, so you know this game. The chandelier is a magnificent work of art, and it is surprisingly sturdy. At least it holds your weight, and it remains relatively steady as you move around the top. Apparently there is nothing up here, so... The cable is strong enough to hold up the chandelier, and you! As far as we know now, that the chandelier is still up here, it means that the Phantom hasn't done anything yet. So we can still somehow try to prevent him from dropping the chandelier onto people. For a really big leap of logic, perhaps he's just Sam Beckett and is jumping from guy to guy in a plot that connects. So this is a continuation of Quantum Leap then. That makes sense. But that doesn't still make any sense because the problem is that he's wearing future tuxedo. Yeah, he'd be wearing that the past Raoul's clothing. Why is there just a stool here? This must belong to some lonely stagehand who sits here whiling away the minutes of an opera waiting for his specific cue. This is a standard 20-pound sandbag used in theaters that were easier. I don't like that the staircase has a different sound effect. Let's go down even further, because we haven't been there before. In this timeline, at least. Ah, the red one. Yeah, what is a modern frame doing here? In the show, he saw himself, and I'm sure at times, clothes that only he and we, the viewers, saw. Everyone else saw period clothes on period character. Yeah, that's true, but, Jup, the others did mention that he was wearing a very odd-looking tuxedo, so he is actually wearing the future clothing on him right now. Vive la France! Vive la Révolution! This is an antique oil lantern. Of course, it looks new now. Can we take it? Might come in handy. This antique lantern looks brand new. It operates by gas, and you can see that it's currently turned off. I don't think we've discussed a video game plot point as deeply as this before. It's time travel. It affects everybody. Deduce what should be that isn't. Leaves you with the improbable. We can go even further down. The metal staircase extends from the floor to the ceiling with exits to the floors above and below this one. Oh yeah, because we're in the past, they are not sealed away. In the future, you couldn't go further down, but here, of course you can, because this is the past. This discarded prop was apparently used in some opera about animals. A thunder machine is a piece of aluminum, or aluminium, suspended on a frame. The sound effect of thunder is produced by moving or shaking the aluminium. The contraption is shiny and new. This discarded prop was apparently used in some opera about creeks. From the fresh paint, it appears as if the prop is brand new. Flats are canvas covered. Hemp is found throughout a theater. You've always wondered why stagehands always call it hemp when it's obviously just rope. It's the same thing, but just, the way it's made. This discarded prop was apparently used in some opera about animals. It's time travel. It affects everybody. SpiderMwa during the return of the Phantom. Perhaps this quote gives the best perspective of them all. Janeway from Voyager. Time travel. Since my first day on the job as a Starfleet captain, I swore I'd never let myself get caught in one of these godforsaken paradoxes. The future is the past and the past is the future. It all gives me a headache. And Star Trek is one of the biggest, the biggest shows that use a lot of time traveling. But they did it alright with some stories. But later on, they didn't. But they did use a lot of time traveling in the shows. At some points it actually got annoying that they kept doing time traveling plots and stories. Star Trek is not about time traveling, it's about space and aliens. Stick to that. They tried smoking it? Probably. At least they would go up in flames very easily. Raoul sure takes his time walking around, that's for sure. Ugh. Even the original version of Star Trek had time traveling. Actually, some of the time traveling in the original Star Trek series was some of the best writing in the show. They did it really well. The poster is an advertisement for last year's big opera Verdi's Aida. It's an insignificant little waste basket. Time traveling plots got really annoying in the Enterprise Star Trek. 2 whole seasons of that crap that never seemed to end. I never watched the Enterprise that much. Because I heard about that the whole series was almost nothing but time travel, so I didn't want to watch it. The door to the dressing room is closed and locked. No one is inside. It looked open to me. Alright. Damn that sound effect. His stepping sound effects makes it sound like there's a freaking clock in here. Need a reason to applaud his slow migration in those stairwells. At least it's not NES Ghostbusters. Duh. That sound effect will get me every freaking time. So horrible. Now you know, this is the star's dressing room corridor. It raised a nice plan for decoration. Same flare text everywhere. The door to the dressing room is closed and locked. No one is inside. Well, she did say that if it's open, she's back, so... She has not returned yet. There! Dang! It's interesting, though, that I found the 3 frames, blue, green, and red, while in the future we also found the 3, but instead of red, we found yellow. It would be very nice if the frames are just red herrings, they have no meaning to the game at all. Will you go down? He's got a nice walking animation. I get the feeling that later on we're gonna have to be use the frames with the lantern somehow. When it would, looking at the stuff in different colors will do something special. Ah, there's the yellow frame. Same flavor test as the others? Yep. Why change it? Because it's the same thing, just different color. I wonder. I wonder if we can go downstairs and through the door from this room. Because the trapdoor is not open, so we cannot go down through the trapdoor like we did in the future. I'm sure nobody's gonna throw a sandbag at you here. So is this door open? Sortie, which means exit. Duh. Somebody really needs to freaking oil those hinges. This fellow is a stagehand known as the Prompter. He is in his mid-40s and appears to be a pleasant man, if a bit nervous. Bonjour, monsieur. Bonjour. Who might I be addressing?
I'm Jacques, and I know who you are, monsieur. It's a pleasure to meet the Vicomte de Charny.
What do you do here at the opera, monsieur?
I'm the prompter. I stick my head through the hole here in the ceiling and prompt the actors if they forget something. A wonderful job, but it is a bit hard on the feet when until they install the little seat. At my insistence, I might add. I used to have to stand for the duration of the entire opera.
Maybe the Phantom slipped a time-traveling device into our hero's pocket as he was pushed, and the quick speed in the fall gave him the time-traveling effect, akin to the plot of the Men in Black. Some version of it. Or maybe it was the flux capacitor. And when we dropped down, we made it to 88 miles per hour, and we went to the past. You are not the opera ghost, I take it.
No, mon Dieu, Lord, no. I don't look a bit like him.
Have you ever seen the opera ghost?
Oui, I have indeed. I was in the flyloft helping with the regain some scenery. I was holding on to the purchase line when I looked up and saw him. He was standing on the catwalk, watching me closely.
What did he look like?
He was tall and was wearing in dark formal attire. He had a long cape. I could not see his face, for he was wearing a mask. He didn't react at all when I looked at him. He just stood staring at me.
Why does he wear a mask, I wonder?
Why, to cover up the hideousness of his deformity. It is said that no man can look upon his features and not be repulsed.
What happened after he stood staring at you?
We had a face-off for several minutes. I was too terrified to move. Then, after a while, he simply pulled his cape around himself and vanished into thin air. I almost dropped the line I was holding. I have not been to the flyloft since.
What can you tell me about the opera ghost?
Only what I've heard from other people. His real name is Eric, and he is as much flesh and blood as are you or I. He lives beneath the opera, deep within the catacombs. I know, for I've been down there.
Do you know anything about his past?
He was born disfigured. The first gift his mother gave to him was a mask. Despite his handicap, he grew up exceptionally intelligent and talented.
What were his talents?
Music, first and foremost. He studied music as a child and then later studied architecture. I have not told anyone else this, but
Well, I knew him as a child. This is how I know. Lors! You knew him? Tell me more. Yes, I was in one of the first school classes, and I was one of the boys who taunted him. It is why I'm so afraid of him now. When I saw him in the catwalk, I felt he was considering some sort of revenge. Where did he study architecture? He taught himself. He was not a social person. He only went to school in his early years. He was tormented by other children much too often. He quickly learned he was not wanted. What brought him to live in the catacombs? He practiced his architectural knowledge in Persia, building palaces for the rulers there. He was especially adept at secret passages and trapdoors. He also developed a knack for magic and illusion. Somehow he became to the attention of Charles Garnier, the opera architect. And Garnier hired him? Yes, he worked in private, so as not to frighten the other workers. When the coming out were in control, I speculate that Eric executed his plans for an abode in the catacombs. There he has hidden himself from humanity. How do I find the catacombs? They have been sealed off. There was once an entrance from the cellar, but it was too drafty. Now there is no entrance, except perhaps through the sewage system. There must be a secret entrance somewhere in the theater. It's the only way the Phantom could enter. Sometimes I hear his music through the walls. His music? Yes, he has a pipe organ in his abode, and some nights it can be heard faintly echoing through the catacombs. Much of what he plays is original, but I think his favorite piece of music is Bach Toccata Fugue in D minor. I heard that one often. It's everybody's favorite in movies and games and videos and such. Thank you for your time, monsieur. Adieu. Adieu, monsieur. So now we know a lot more about Eric. But I think in the original story... No, actually... Oh! In the original story, that's pretty much how it went. Oh. Then he actually did go abroad to Persia and such to learn about architecture. God damn that. The seats in the house are plush and comfortable. This is the section known as the orchestra. The floor of the orchestra pit is a cold natural pit. It's just all the same text as before. At least everything looks better because the chandelier hasn't been dropped on people. Go. I go. Hello. A gentleman. You see a middle-aged gentleman wearing a painter's smock. He carries a palette and looks a little lost. Could you be Baudry? The one who is supposed to paint everything here? The wall is a blast of glittering tonality, a mixture of golden molding and marble inlays. Same thing as before. Bonjour. Are you lost? Well, can you direct me to the ballet studio? I'm working on what will undoubtedly be considered a masterpiece after I am dead. Who are you? My name is Edgar Degas. I am an artist. What do you paint? Ballerinas, young female ballerinas. Lise s'appelle young female ballerinas. I didn't know that he was such a lecherous guy. Are you sure you're Degas? You kinda do look like him, kinda. You enjoy painting young females, monsieur? Don't you? I have not seen any ballerinas around. Oh, they're here, alright. One must only know out there where to look. The painter licks his lips and grins. I think this is the guy that Gobbler was talking about. I don't suppose you look through these colored frames to see the world in a different light. I mean, why else even pick them up? Yeah. I'm sure at some point the frames that we have from the future will come in handy in some ways. But I think this is the guy that Goblin was talking about, that there is a bizarre character. I am not sure where it is. Oh, well, I'll just wander until I find it. How do you know you'll be respected after your death? Ah, this is the way it always works, monsieur. Artists of my day are never appreciated until after their death. You should know, monsieur. I have seen the future. The future? How do you know that? What do you mean? Monsieur, the mysteries of the universe are not ours to explain. We must merely experience them and benefit from what they teach us. Degas winks at you. Adieu. Adieu. I don't know what to think about this. Apparently Edgar Degas knows about time traveling. Okay, this game is getting weirder and weirder. But in a sort of a good way. Groundhog Day type scenario, maybe a grand loop scale, but it just is not explained. I don't think this is a Groundhog scenario at all. Groundhog Day scenario is when one day repeats over and over, not a grand loop. And if this is going to be like a loop, that he's stuck in, that we are stuck here in the past, and that's how it's going to be, does that mean that he's going to be his great-grandfather? He's gonna be his own great-grandfather? That wouldn't make any goddamn sense. The bust is of the famous composer Verdi. Or Verdi, because he's the Italian. Giuseppe Verdi. The Giuseppe Verdi. The relatively small lamp does a surprisingly good job of illuminating the room. Monsieur Richard is here, looking a bit concerned. You've been told that you have known him for years, but you've never seen him before you woke up on that stage. Monsieur Richard is in his early 40s. Okay, let's get this done. Ah, Raoul, feeling better, I hope. You look much better. You were very lucky, my friend. But let's get down to business. I have some things to tell you about our ghostly friend. Please update me on the Phantom's actions. I have a new note from him. It is the same handwriting as the previous note. What does the old note say? I told you about this last week. My, that bob on your head has really affected you. The ghost wants us to pay him a monthly salary and reserve one of the best boxes for him for every performance. The nerve. Yeah, read it from yourself. It's in the tray. My payment of 20,000 francs shall be due the first of every month. Please give the madam in jury for placement in box 5, which shall remain on show for every performance. Failure to comply with this request shall result in great misfortune. OG. OG? Which box does he reserve?
Box 5. It's one of the best ones, too. We could sell it every night if he wanted. We never know when he will use it, so none of us have ever seen him. Madame Giry may have had some communication with him, though.
And tell me about Madame Giry.
She looks after the boxes. She is the one who finds the notes the ghost leaves for us, usually in box 5. It's about time for her to report to work, so you may find her cleaning the boxes now. Odd woman, I might add, but she does her job.
Can I see box 5?
If it's not locked, you'll find it through the loge's corridor. We have examined it thoroughly, I assure you. If the phantom does go there, it is by by magic.
What does the new note say?
He wants Christine Dyer to sing the lead in the wedding of Isabel tonight, not Carlotta the star. Here's the note on the top of the desk.
Miss Christine Dyer shall sing the lead in the wedding of Isabel, not that toad Carlotta. Please honor the success of the tragedy that follows will be in your hands, Sir Jay. And if I remember in the story, they do put Carlotta to star, not Christine, and he drops the chandelier on the people. Tell me about Christine Daae.
What do you mean? Haven't you two be seeing each other?
We have?
Well, it seems to be the talk of the theater. Are you sure you don't need a doctor? You cannot fool me, Raoul. I see how you looked at her when you awoke. Typical Parisian, you. Be nonchalant and matter of fact about it, eh? Well, what do you want to know about her?
Where does she come from?
I knew her father before he died. He was a brilliant violinist with the orchestra. They immigrated here from Scandinavia, I believe, after her mother died. She was studying ballet when one of the directors heard her sing.
Is she really a good singer?
Yes, she is. I'm not sure if she could sustain a leading role. She's still young and undisciplined, but she has gotten better and better just over the last few weeks. It is as if she acquired an outstanding teacher. She improved leaps and bounds in really a few days.
I still don't remember what MFW means.
Don't use abbreviations. I hate them.
I really do hate people using abbreviations. Just type the words. Even if it's in a joke, I don't get them all. That's the problem. So when you do those FMW or others, I don't get them. I just don't know what it is. That's the only problem. I'm trying to figure out what FMFW means, but I don't know. I don't know. My face went. Yeah, never would have gotten that. Your face when Monsieur Richard is Porky Pig. Yeah, because it was because of the prestige. He wasn't really stuttering there. He just didn't know the word prestige. Prestigious.
A teacher? What do you mean? Practically daily she comes in with some new technique. Oh, it seems that she has learned more about emotion. Oh, her voice seems much stronger. It's a number of things. Things only a trained musician could hear in her voice. Someone is teaching her, there is no doubt.
Will she sing the leading wedding of Isabel?
Yes, I have agreed to it. Besides, Carlotta has mysteriously gained a throat ailment. Otherwise she would have thrown a fit.
What is her job here?
She was placed immediately into the chorus. She has had 2 minor parts since then. She has never sung the lead.
Thank you, monsieur. I shall see you later.
Adieu, Raoul. You take it easy now, oui?
Ah oui, oui. That's how Porky stutters in later portrayals over big words and then he substitutes a simpler synonym. A simpler word.
So let's see if the great-grandmother of the 12-year-old ballerina is here. Madame Giry. She here? Up, that seems to be her. This middle-aged woman looks serious and wise, but friendly. Are you Madame Giry?
Yes, I am. I am the caretaker of the boxes.
I understand you have dealings with the opera ghost.
Yes, that is correct. Mind you, I have never actually seen him. He communicates to me by written messages which he leaves in his box.
Surely you have seen some evidence of him.
Once I peeked into the box during a performance, I saw a silhouette of a man sitting there. I was frightened because I expected the box to be empty. I quickly closed the door. After a minute or two, I gathered the courage to look again and he was gone.
What kind of written messages?
He has left messages to manager requesting this and that. He once left me a nice note of thanks for looking after his interests.
Does he tip you?
He tips me very well, better than most of the gentlemen who pay for boxes.
Then you have a monetary interest in protecting him.
Monsieur, I resent your inference. I am a working-class woman trying to make a paltry living. I would naturally do my best for any patron who tips that well. The ghost has been kind to me, it is true, but I do not protect him. He can protect himself.
Tell me about the opera ghost's personal box.
Box 5 is the ghost's personal box. He has used it ever since he first began haunting the opera.
When did he first begin haunting the opera?
It was really since it opened in 1875. I started working here in 1879. He has always been here, to my knowledge. I heard tales that he was around during construction of the opera and even during the time of the Gurnards.
Tell me more about his work on the construction.
He used the time and space to build his own domain, deep below the theater. I believe he may have protected his lair with puzzles and traps.
What kind of traps?
He gained much knowledge of diabolical traps and puzzles while he lived in Persia. I have heard tales of a puzzle with toggle switches which correspond with the 26th letter of our alphabet. I know nothing more.
Do you know the key to these puzzles?
I believe the key lies in the fact that the opera ghost is very vain. He thinks much of himself. The answers may be something very personal to the phantom. Something to do with his attire, or his name, Eric.
What is so special about Box 5?
It offers a first-class view of the stage. The boxes in this area are among the best seats in the house.
How do you think he gets into the box?
He's a ghost. How should I know?
Madame Giry, I believe you're hiding something.
And I believe you are hiding something, monsieur. I believe you're not what you seem.
What do you mean by I'm not what I seem?
Monsieur, you are from another time and place. You do not know how you got here, and neither do I. But destiny is leading you to a dangerous cataclysm. I believe you have good intentions, but I must warn you that your adversary is quite cunning.
Madame Giry, you know he is not really a ghost.
The columns in these boxes are not what they seem.
Tell me more about what you see.
Your soul is under control of forces beyond our understanding. You will return to your own time and place when the unfolding play is completely enacted.
And what is it that must be enacted?
I do not know, monsieur. I do not know. There are some items that will help you. Perhaps I can help you.
How can you help me?
I can unlock box 5 for you, but I cannot do that until you have more control over your destiny. Find the items, and I will unlock the box.
What are these items?
Look for 3 items from your own time.
Adieu, Madame Giry.
Adieu, monsieur. Oh my, what did I not see before? You already have the items from your own time. My apologies, monsieur. You are one step ahead of me. Stay that way and you will be one step ahead of him as well. I shall unlock the box 5 for you now.
Bam!
And besides, I had 4 items from my time, bitch!
Here go, Mamery.
Bonjour, monsieur. I have delivered you all the information you need. I have nothing more to say to you. Fate and destiny are on your side. Good luck, monsieur.
So lots of people know that he's traveled through time? Well, apparently somehow they got knew, but she is a... Well, if you remember in the future, the little girl, the ballerina, who is the great-granddaughter of hers, she did say that her mother had told her the stories about her being a psychic. And the little girl also was a little bit of a psychic. You know, not in the kind of psychic, you know, medium. Clairvoyant. Why did they choose that freaking sound effect? The seats are all look quite comfortable, covered in a plush red velvet. It's a wonder that more patrons do not fall asleep while watching the performance. The lovely red act curtain is open, revealing a bare stage. Tonight's portable scenery has not been set up yet. This gold-rimmed rail separates the box from the rest of the house. Better not lean too far over. Walking this way will take you out of the box and into the loge corridor. This thick red carpet gives away slightly as you walk. This place is very ritzy, you think. Even you, a patron of the opera for years, could never afford one of these boxes. The stone column appears to be some kind of limestone material, but you're not sure. The stone column appears to be some kind of limestone, but you're not sure. You decide to feel it and knock on it to see how thick it is. Oh. Why, it's hollow. It's not what it appears to be. And on closer examination, you see that there is some kind of outline, much like a trapdoor embedded in the column. Then you see the keyhole. Someone tacked a note to the railing here. Let's go grab it. My dear Vicomte, leave Miss Daae alone or you will suffer a great malady. Oh gee. Okay, now he's threatening us.
Threat from OG.
You cannot believe you failed to notice the keyhole before. It looks like as if a skeleton key might fit it. So, we need to find a key. Alright. At least now we know how he comes in here. He made a passageway inside the column. Oh, my ears. Anything else from you? Nope. Well, good luck to you too, lady. In your profession. And good luck with writing that book later on. She's the one who wrote about Eric that we find in the future. I wonder if there's anything we can talk about with our friend, Monsieur Richard. I don't know which one of those is the worst one. The first or the latter. Jeez. Bonjour, I was wondering if you had any more to tell me?
No, I don't think so. I told you everything I know. You should go rest a bit, my friend. Oh, wow, wow. Wow, 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 wow.
Au revoir.
The archway leads into the box office. I wonder if there's anything that we might need in the box office. You never know. Might be something. Like, absolutely nothing. Or maybe the black card will have something for us. The black card reads tonight, La Carlotta starring in the wedding of Isabel. But a sticker has been pasted on top of the name of La Carlotta. Sticker reads Christine Daae. The gentleman behind the ticket window looks pleasant enough. He looks at you with anticipation, expecting some kind of business transaction. The thick glass partition separates the public from the ticket seller. You know from experience that angry patrons, upon discovering that a show is sold out, sometimes become violent. This is a bust of Charles Garnier, designer of the Paris Opera House. You wonder if the man knew how famous his creation would become. Probably did. Never know. The floor is made of shiny polished marble. You wonder what they used to buff the floor with in the old days before electric buffers. Brushes and lots of sturdy work.
May I help you, monsieur?
What are you selling?
Tickets to tonight's opera. Would you like a box seat, an Augusta seat, a mezzanine seat, or our economy seat?
Mezzanine seat, please.
That would be 3 francs. I don't seem to have any money on me.
Then I cannot help you anymore. Adieu. Well, at least he's polite. In that way, that he doesn't just scoff you off. So I guess now I'm sure that the Christine is back. So now we just walk all the way to the dressing room. Oh boy. It's gonna take a while. Certainly it's gonna take a while to walk all the way back there. Eventually we will make it. At least we can stare at his swag as he makes his way. Okay, everybody brace your ears. Here comes the annoying door sound effect. After a while, you start to kind of get used to it, but it's still annoying. Such a freaking awful sound effect. Bonjour, monsieur. Good to see you again, monsieur. I have been searching my mind for additional information that you could use, but I'm afraid I remember nothing else. So, apologies, monsieur. Good luck in your investigation. I wish that I could have paid enough attention to say a good and remember about time travel. I'm sure you'll figure something out, what to say at the end. Actually, I wonder, what is our score? 121 out of 250. We're almost halfway through. Actually, that will be a great stopping point then. Once we get to Christine, talk with her, and that will be the good stopping point.
Every freaking time. Almost managed to follow the whole stream. Could focus better than ever before. Then you used the wrong ratio of chemicals and fell into a stupor, starting right after Raoul fell from the balcony. That's okay, Gabriel. It just happens, you know. That's okay. Hello there, Per Anderson. Welcome to the stream. You're doing better every day.
That is good.
That's the best thing about it.
I do have to say the what the Goblin said before, that this game having a King's Quest 6 feel to it, but it also has the feel of like Space Quest 4. We're in Finland, southern Finland. Ugh. Oh yeah, she's the. This is not the dressing room she's in. That is the stars, who is Carlotta. Christine should be downstairs because she's not the star. This is not the future, Christine. No, not in Helsinki. Nope. I live in the city next door, Espoo. Esbo. As they would say in Swedish, I think. That's where I live. Espoo. Okay, I will never get used to that door sound effect. Ever. It's locked. It's closed and locked. Where is she? She did say that she would return at some point. I guess I haven't done enough for her to appear.
Where is she? Where are the other drugsmen?
You live in the south part of your country too. Whoa. Survived all the summer fires at least. Any day now. Why did they make the stairs so freaking long? Just traveling from one place to another in this game is so slow. Well, then again, big place. Game padding, of course. Pride in the visuals. Yeah. So let's go downstairs here. See what we can find. No, the mannequins are not having an orgy. They are merely in a pile, having been recently purchased for the costume shop. Someone left a coil of hemp rope here. I wonder if it might be useful. Well, since you think like that, let's take it. Oh, we have the hook. This is a coil of sturdy theatrical hemp. I wonder if I can put the cable hook in rope. You decided you might want to hold on to that for now. Okay. Use rope to lasso. I guess we're gonna have to lasso something at some point.
Could you move? Thank you.
These grates are fairly new, sealed and impenetrable. Alright. You haven't a clue as to what the cylinder might be used for. The ways of the theater scenic designers can be mysterious indeed. Fairly new, impenetrable. This card is fairly new, sealed and impenetrable. Someone left an old coffee-stained putrid mug here. You wouldn't touch it with a stick. You realize that this is exactly the same mummy prop that you saw back in your century. Only now it looks brand new. Theaters sure keep a lot of discarded scenery lying around. This is an old discarded flat from some opera setting of yesteryear. You know, it's some kind of a prop from some kind of opera, but you have some kind of mental dysfunction in identifying it. Can we take the prop? You attempt to take the prop, but quickly deduce that this action would be a waste of your valuable time and energy. So that's the only thing we needed from here, the rope. Works for me. So after getting that rope, maybe now we can go and talk with Christine? I'm sure it's one of those moments like in most adventure games, you need to do everything else before something else happens. And in this case, the happening is that you hear Christine singing in the distance. She has returned from her errands. The voice is coming from the direction of the dressing rooms. As I was saying, that would be the case. That we had to find everything around the place before she comes back. And the rope really was the last thing we needed. Yeah, picking up items, or trying to pick up items, or doing some other stuff is wasting his valuable time. So she must be upstairs. Once again, brace yourselves for the annoying door sound. Ah, she is in here? Well, I guess she is the star now because she replaced Carlotta. So you're just a bird baby waiting here? On closer inspection of Christine Dae, you are shocked to see that she is truly a dead ringer for Christine Florent. Again, she appears to be in her early 20s, but this time her dark hair is long. You want to drown in those same piercing brown eyes. And the room hasn't changed much, either. The occupant uses a screen to close hanging on the woman's room because it's pink. Close dummy. There's a white skirt draped over the dummy today. The box is filled with lovely flowers, probably a good show gift for someone. This paper fan was mounted on the wall for decoration. It is the watercolor original by an artist named R. Frank. The mural shows a ballerina in action.
Could it be a Degas original?
Apparently that one is. It almost looks like his head will fall off his shoulders when he uses stairs. After all, you'd value your time as well if you moved as fast as an elderly snail with Parkinson's disease swimming in quicksand on a January morning at the South Pole. Or July morning, since that's winter in the South, yep. Amazing how in 100 years, those hand-painted strokes on the walls wouldn't change or fade. They used just good paint, you know. Also, I love the music in here.
Not at all detoned, and horrible.
But I guess that's supposed to be the case here. On closer inspection, she looks exactly blah blah blah.
Bonjour, Christine.
Raoul, I just returned from my errands. What good timing you have. Why don't you sit down, mon ami?
Christine, how long have you known me?
Why, Raoul, we know each other as children, you know that. We met again just last year, here at the opera. You have been so kind to me and so supportive of my career. I shall always be grateful to you.
Remind me of our exploits as children.
Don't you remember? You jumped into the ocean to retrieve a scarf I had dropped. The wind had carried it into the sea. You ran into the water with your clothes on. I was with my father. You remember her, don't you?
Tell me about your father.
He was a brilliant violinist. He taught me so much about music. He told me the most wonderful stories. You used to listen to him too. I miss him terribly.
How is your career going?
Have you heard? Carlotta has a sore throat. I will not be going on tonight. I will be singing the lead in the opera. This is my big chance. Soon it will be time for me to practice.
Where have you been?
I went to my father's grave. You know I visit every day. He was such an inspiration to me. It was he who sent me the angel of music to me.
Tell me more about the angel of music.
He comes to me when I practice. He is my teacher. I would certainly not be able to sing the lead tonight without his help.
Hey there, Goblin. Welcome back. Inspector Snail has further talked to many people and climbed many stairs. Oh, you mean Degas? Yes, I met him. And somehow he knew that we were a time traveler.
But who is he?
I don't expect you to believe me, Raoul, but he really is an angel. My father has always told me that if he should die, he would send an angel to continue my musical instruction. He kept his word.
What does he look like?
I have never seen him. I only hear him. He sings and speaks to me here in this room. His voice seems to come from the walls themselves.
When do you expect him again?
Soon. In a few minutes. I must ask you to leave in a moment. He would not come if someone else is here with me. You must understand, Raoul.
Have you had any strange dreams lately?
Why? What do you mean?
Any dreams about men wearing masks?
How did you know? Yes, I have. Frightening dreams.
Tell me about your dreams.
There is a man with a mask. He sings to me, much like the angel of music. I am riding a white horse and he's leading the horse. We go to a dark place and there... well, we make love. All the while I hear the angel of music playing the violin.
Do you ever unmask him?
I am too frightened to do so. And the strange thing is that even though I am frightened, there is something comforting about the man.
Sounds romantic.
Why, Raoul, you sound jealous. It's just a dream after all. Come here, my love. Hold me a moment.
Shouldn't I stay with you during your practice?
No, no one can be here then. Now it is about time, so I must ask you to leave.
Are you sure you're alright?
Why, I was never better. I love you, Raoul. Do not forget. We shall see what happens after the opera. If I am accepted as a lead, my career could soar.
And I will lose you forever?
Nonsense. Do not worry about that. Oh, the Angel of Music is here. I must practice now. Adieu, Raoul. You must leave now.
I hear it. Where is that violin coming from?
Please go now. I cannot speak anymore. Please.
Fine, we'll go. Bitch. There.
You are perplexed that Christine would kick you out of the room so abruptly.
But then it becomes clear. As the mysterious violin continues, you overhear voices. One is obviously Christine,
The other is a strange male with a smooth, almost hypnotic voice.
Angel of Music, is that you? Are you here?
Yes, Christine, I am here now. Come to me, my love.
Yes, Angel, I am coming. Take me. I'm ready. Take me.
Come to me, Christine. You will love me always. You are mine forever.
Christine, open the door! Christine!
Christine, you shall be mine forever and ever.
I must get inside.
If ever there was an emergency,
This is it.
and now he moves in the... Wow! He even broke the axe. You are shocked. She's gone. Vanished. What sort of fiend could do this? You quickly look around the room. The mirror. Could it be? Alas, you can find nothing that indicates it might be a trick door. You think that this phantom must be very clever indeed. You fear for Christine, yet you feel utterly helpless now. I mean, it's just a mirror. Go grab the handle of the axe and break it later that evening. Well, that introduced the Terminator into the time-traveling potentials.
Where could she be? Does she know she must go home in less than 15 minutes? What could have happened to her?
This could be the work of the opera ghost.
Do you really think so? What could he have done with her?
Yeah.
Christine, you have returned! Are you alright?
Of course, Monsieur Richard. Bonjour, Raoul.
Where have you been? We have all been so worried. The performance is set to begin in 10 minutes.
Didn't you just say 15?
I would never let you down, Monsieur. I'm a professional. Raoul, I have left you for a complimentary box seat ticket at the box office. Please pick it up. I must run to my dressing room now. Adieu.
Yeah, run. Yeah, just jauntily walk. That's running. Same thing.
Well, I'm astounded. I must say, it's a good thing we prepared her dressing room door quickly. Did you have to break the door and the axe, Raoul?
Well, I suppose I'll go pick up my ticket.
Yes, I shall see you later then. Adieu.
Adieu to you. And also, adieu to you, because I'm gonna end it here. This is a good place to stop the game, so just end stream. Always good to have the same save game name end stream, because I know where to continue from. But this game actually is really fascinating. Really fascinating. It is the original story, the opera, the Phantom of the Opera story, but with the addition of the time traveling and all that, it makes it weird but intriguing. I like it. Oh no, she's gone. Better repair the door. So, we'll continue this tomorrow then. All right. So thank you everybody for joining the live stream. Hopefully you had a good time here. And we shall continue this tomorrow. You're glad you suggested this. You had the original CD version back in the day. I mean, I could have gotten the CD version, but I decided to go with the DOS version because I liked it with the voice acting myself. That's the only reason. And, let's see our score. Are we now halfway through? 100 points to go. Alright, alright. But we shall finish this game tomorrow, I'm sure, because 100 points means that we're very close to the ending already. So, tomorrow we'll finish it. Hopefully, because there's going to be that maze and the traps that we have to get through, so we shall see how that goes. But until then, you guys take care of yourselves, and remember, don't wear out your thumbs. And remember, if you wake up in what seems like the past, or future, or another dimension, check all your important cliche things. Testicles, yeah. It's spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch. First is spectacles, then it's testicle, because he does the cross, you know. It's the spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch. And also, don't collect objects that don't belong in your time period. Yep. Exit from game. And there you go, exited the game. Thank you for playing Return of the Phantom. Your game has automatically been saved. You can resume at the point you left off at any time by typing Phantom and then selecting Resume from the main menu. That's actually good to know. If I can do that. Alright. But I'll see you guys tomorrow for more of that. Bye! At least it's user-friendly. Every adventure game should have been like that. But alas. Can't have everything, you know. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!